Okay, so we are ready to go. This is our online remote training for MLS Instanet Authentisign web forms. Like I've been saying in the chat, they're all kind of just related things, so you don't have to worry about which one is which. It doesn't really matter from your perspective. The important thing is that you know how to use it. So we're doing it at the office as well. You all need to be on laptops or desktops at that because okay, so like I said, the first step is always to log into Stratus, right? So if you're able to, you can actually follow along with the same steps. But if not, just watching might be helpful. And again, we're recording, so you'll be able to watch this again and you can follow along to refresh yourself in the future. So I'm going to log on. And as I said, the easiest way to go about it is to, if you're going to start paperwork for a listing or a buyer, or basically if you're putting in an offer or doing any paperwork for that matter, it's really helpful to first find the property. So I'll just use one that I've looked at before, so I'm a bit more familiar. And again, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. I'll be watching the WhatsApp messages and also the messages on Zoom. So this is your desktop. This is what it normally looks like, right? This is nothing new. And then, great, Becky can hear. Okay, so you'll find the listing that you want to do the work on. Let's say we do, let's just do this one, 92 Pinewood. You'll have all your information here. This is pretty standard. You should be very used to seeing this. The next thing that you'll want to do if you want to be creating documents in an easier way and then getting people to sign it, is you'll see this button here. It says Instanet Authentisign. I don't know if it's big enough, so let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. Okay, so I think Elaine is joining us. So you see here the Instanet Authentisign. When I click on it, it will open up this software here, this desktop looking thing. And you'll see, I like to leave it open on a different one so I can see kind of the details, because you'll be filling in some details so that when you make your forms, it'll be automatically inputted. So from here, it asks you what type it is. It is a freehold. I will say sale because in this case, I'm the one that actually wants to put in an offer. If you were saying that you wanted to, I think maybe just stick with sale, probably makes the most sense. And it already puts the MLS number for you, and you'll see that it'll add you as the, right? So for just this purpose, I'm going to pretend that I'm on the buying side, but if you see you have different options. So if you're the listing agent, if you're doing both, so if you're doing a multiple representation, you can also do that. But for now, we'll just pretend we are on the buying side, and I'll click Create. All right, so we'll let that finish, and you'll see it's automatically put a bunch of information, just a couple pieces that you want to make sure that you fix. As you see, width and depth, they don't say what the measurement is, so you want to look back over at your listing, and you'll see it says feet, right? So because I know it says feet, I'm just going to come over here. And again, you can fix this later, but it's easier if you do it now. Just little tricks, but not the end of the world if you don't fill it in. Again, assessment role, they probably did not provide, which is fine, not there, right? The next thing they asked for was frontage direction. Fronting on west. You can always double check it, but maybe for now we'll just trust the agent, right? Put west. And then you might want to double check this or change this to something else. I've seen a lot, instead of seeing this, I see a lot of, this is a 2-story semi-detached dwelling. with regular lots size as per PT or survey, or whatever the wording is, right? This is the list price. Purchase price, I personally like to leave it blank until I actually am putting in the offer, but you could fill that in now if your buyer is sure that they want to put in a certain price. Single family residential, or whatever it is for you. Your deposit, additional deposit. If you want, you can include this stuff as well. So I might go back here and look at what the extras are. So it says all appliances, light fixtures, blah, 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 blah. Exclude the gray kitchen and the barbecue, right? So the easiest thing I find is to copy. So it's either Control C, or if you want to do it this way, you can also right click and then copy, right? So we'll go over here. Property includes all appliances, blah, 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 and the excludes are over here. So I'm gonna put that over there. I think it's a gray kitchen cabinet. I might just fully spell things out, right? Basement, so everything is basement, built-ins. Rental items, we'll make sure that we don't see a hot water tank. I don't see one right now. Additional schedules will depend, right? So of course you're going to go up here and look at what the agent has provided you. You won't need a floor plan, but there is a schedule. So I might just skim quickly. This is their survey, so we don't need that. We will need an 801, so I'll just remember that for later. Hold on to that. And then a Schedule B. So that means we'll have a Schedule A and B. So in my additional schedule, I'll just say A, comma, B, and B. And then once you filled out as much as you want, and again, if you don't fill it out right away, don't worry about it because it's just automatically puts it into your forms, but you can still edit it later. Once I'm done, I click save and exit. There was more we could have done, but I find that's good enough. So as you see here, now you'll see in the space here is forms. Empty, none found, that's because we need to add some. So there's a plus button. You click plus, and again, your forms will be different depending on what you're doing, right? But let's pretend we're just on the buying side, just for simplicity's sake. I'll click on OREA because that's, oops, yeah, those are the ones I want. So agreement and purchase and sale, right? We need that guy. We'll need the commission agreement, the co-op. I think easier to find it by co-op. If you know the numbers, it's also easier. Cooperative bidding. Seller commission. No. Confirmation of cooperation and representation, right? So we'll add that guy in. We'll also want 801 because the agent asked for it. Just make sure you're clicking Ontario, not Brampton or Durham. You could also do Toronto, but you know, if you're doing a 905 or something in Markham or Richmond Hill, you can, this is Ontario, so probably the most broad. That'll be fine. So we've got our 801. I think that's all of our documents. Am I missing anything? Agreement of purchase. Yeah, so I think that's a good start at least. Maybe I've forgotten something. Make sure nobody needs anything. Everybody looks good. Okay, so as you see here, now it's uploaded into the forms. Let's start with the agreement of purchase and sale. I'm going to click on it. It's going to open it up. And as you can see, it's already started to put in some information for me, which is great, right? So there's some things I don't have to think about as much anymore. You're going to put your date here, 6th day of February, 2020. I'll use my own name for purposes here today. Make sure you get the spelling right. And then side of, you'll have to make sure what street it's on. So I like to just use Google Maps. I'm looking for 92 Pinewood Avenue, this guy. And I will just look on the map. Oh, don't need to go. Ooh. Hold on a second. 92 Pinewood. It It'll show it to me on the map, and it'll see this is Pinewood, and right, I'm on the west side, and it's fronting on the west side of Pinewood. So I've confirmed that. I put Pinewood Avenue, and in the city of Toronto or Markham or wherever it is the property is. Here's your purchase price, your deposit. You get to decide, is it upon acceptance herewith? Let's pretend it's upon acceptance because I'm not there right now. And then your amount, let's just pretend it's 100,000. See, as I type it in, it helps me fill it out. This is where you put the name of the other brokerage, the co-op brokerage. And again, I just like to copy and paste. Heavy callus, copy, paste. Okay. So just see here, Schedule A is already included, so I'll remove that. And B. Irrevocable, I'm the buyer, so for the buyer until, let's say, 9 p.m. You can write it or you can check the box, up to you. Let's pretend it's for tonight, so the 6th day of February, 2020. Right, completion date, let's say a month from now, so 6th day of March, 2020. We move on. You see how earlier I had copy and pasted that in, so that's already in there for me. Rental items, you might want to just double check with the agent. Of course, I'm sure you guys are aware, talk to the agent before you do all this. Always included in. Title search is 2 weeks before the 6th of March, which is for that day, 21st of February. So, February 2020. That's already in there. Scanning, scanning, scanning. Everything looks fine. And then if you want, you can write in your buyer's name. So here it's me. Right. And that's it. Schedule, now you've got your Schedule A. I like to, again, just do my copy and paste. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to copy everything, pretend that I have a condition on financing, inspection, and all of that. Of course, you will look at how you want to do it. So let's just for this purpose sake, I will copy and paste it in. And then again, if you were doing it yourself, you would want to maybe copy it paragraph by paragraph, do some editing so it looks clean, fill in all the blanks, right, so that they're not just blank, all of that. Okay, so I've pretty much filled out this whole thing. The important thing here, rather than, oh my, sorry about that. So rather than, important here is that you hit save, not save as PDF. If you hit save as PDF, it's going to lock the whole form. So you really want to just click save. That way you can still come back and edit it. Because, you know, sometimes last minute there are changes. It's easier if you just can save it once. That way it's saved on your computer. It's saved wherever you can log on to the internet, and you don't have to worry about losing it or anything like that. So we're going to, where did you get this downloaded Schedule A? It's just a file that I have saved on my laptop. I can send you a copy afterwards, and that way you can save it on your computer or have it somewhere that's accessible. I just find it the easiest to copy and paste myself. So we'll just continue on, if that's okay. Let me know if you have more questions. Definitely stop me if you have questions. And then again, you see now it's put in all the information for me. I'm not the listing, so I will probably leave that blank. I will say that I'm representing them. And then let's say it's 2% or whatever it is, right? That looks great. Just like kind of look it over. The nice thing about using this is that it automatically puts in the address and the agent's name for you. You can save a bit of time. And so again, when I come here, I'm going to hit save. Always save, not as save as PDF. Unless you're really sure that the document is done, but I don't see the point in it, so I would just focus on saving it that way. Offer summary document. Again, it's all filled out. You'll fill it a little bit more, so let's say I'm doing it by email. I'm going to do it by 12 p.m. today on the 6th day of February 2020, irrevocable until 9. I said 9 p.m. today, I think. You can leave this blank for now because we don't know if we're going to do a counter offer, but if you left it, that would be okay as well. Okay, so again, hit save. That's all great. So now our forms are pretty much, for the most part, ready. We can prepare it for signing. So let's start from the beginning again, so you can get comfortable with kind of toggling between your files. You click this file folder up here, and then open form, second one down. This is new form, open form, save, copy, just so you have different options. You can put on a watermark, you can delete it, you can print it, all of that. All right, so we're going to go back to our APS. See, here it is. Oh, I forgot to put my name. I don't know how that happened. I thought I did, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna, let's say, so a couple different options from here. So you might want to already have, let's say you want, this is good enough for you and you're doing hard copy, you're gonna meet with your buyer anyways, so you're not too worried about online signing. What you would do is you go to print. A couple different options here again. You can actually either print it at this point, right? Like most of it is filled out. You'll just have to fill in the purchase price, which you might, especially with all the multi-offers going on, you might want to wait until you find out how many other registered offers there are. Or you can download it. So you see this arrow here. Your buttons might look a little bit different because if you're on a different computer, but generally you either print or you can download. So for this one I'm going to download because I want to show you guys a trick. I'm going to put Pinewood APS. Oops. Okay, that's fine. So that's fine. We're just going to use this as an example for the signing because, or else we would be here all day, and I'm sure you don't want to watch me do that. So I'm going to open my drive, and the nice thing about editing on the drive is that you can actually have some flexibility with last-minute edits that are online. So let's say you're doing only email offers and you can't be printing, you don't want to be printing, signing, scanning, and then over and over and over again. This is a really easy way to do it. So this is my drive. If you're not sure how to access it, we can go over that another time, but basically if you log on with your Century 21 email, you have 30 gigabytes of free storage, which is a lot of storage. The letter became small to read. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put it in here. I'll just put it in here for now as a test. Yeah. Make myself a folder so I don't get confused. Training, right? So I'm going to put the agreement of purchase and sale that I just downloaded. 92 Pinewood, right? So I'm going to put it into my drive. It's going to take a second to upload, and then you'll see that it's in here. If I right-click, you'll see that I can open with. Before I move on to that, just a quick note. Let's say I want to share it online. Let's say I'm working with another agent and I want them to look over my work. I can right-click and I can share it, either send them an email. Whoops. Oh dear. We have 10 minutes left, so let's try to wrap it up. Okay, so, or I can get a shareable link, and as you can see, I can copy and paste, right? Elaine, I'll get back to you afterwards. I just want to finish this up in 10 so I don't overdo the timing and have to start another meeting. So to go back, open with, DocHub. Oh, I have to log in. How annoying. Sorry. You'll log in with your, again, Century 21 email, because I think it comes with the email. Another perk of actually using your C21 email. Interesting. What is this here? Okay, so right. So now that it opens, I'll just show you a couple things quickly. Different ways to sign it. You can sign it, let's say your client is beside you or they've given you permission. You can actually create signatures, right? You can create your own signatures, manage your own signatures. You can draw them, whatever else. Like let's say I want to draw one, right? I think this is the OK button. And so you can actually go through the entire thing, and I might start to press the A button to add JC, right? And then I can sign for my seller if they're there. And I'll show you how you can also erase here, which is great as well. So sign, let's pretend it's the one I just created, right? And I can even make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can delete it. So that's great. Let's say there was a mistake. Let's say I made a mistake on spelling the seller's name. There's actually an eraser here, whiteout. So you can actually copy, like you can hold and drag, and it's gone. And then I can add text again. So let's say it's actually Peter Lai, right? That's actually the seller's name. Let's pretend. So unfortunately, it won't automatically do it to the other ones, but this does help you last minute change your forms without having to start all over again, right? So this is helpful in that way. Another way you can do that, so let's pretend we don't want to do that, you can also do Authentisign. So there's a sign button here. Creating a sign session, added via Authentisign. Yes. And it'll take you just to try it. Oh, hold on a second. Download the editable PDF. Yes. I can show you that in a second. So sign in line, signing participant, sign in order, or first come, first serve. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to send it just to myself, right? Let's say that it's me. Note signer, add, documents. Oops. Why is it saying I'm missing something? Oh, I see. So it needs my email. So I'm going to send it to another email just so that it's not confused. Oh, I can hear someone. Hi, Lynn. I'm just going to, interesting that I can hear you. So the APS is already in there. And it's kind of like, organized in step by step. So you just kind of click through. And it pretty much just shows you where where they're going to ask you to initial, right? So they've all kind of laid it out because I've said that this is the buyer, right? I've specified that I'm the buyer and that's where I want them to sign. So they've kind of done that for us, right? So that's great. I'm going to send an invitation, and it might take a couple minutes. While we're waiting for that email to come in, just to answer the other question about the editable PDF. So that is an editable PDF. The thing about the editable PDF is that sometimes you need to have, so this is here, right? Sometimes it's just a bit more tricky because you might have to download Adobe or pay for it. That's why I'm giving you the option of Google Drive, because that's very easy and it's free. I think I have the ability to edit here, but some of them you have to upgrade. So you'll see, like I think it's prompting me to upgrade because I've logged into the wrong account. Yeah, so it's a little bit easier just to do it on Google Drive, so you're not paying extra for an account. But of course, if you have one, you can do a lot of that work just on your Adobe Acrobat. Okay, so I'm going to look for that email. It's not here yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Right. So this is what it's going to be look like. Like obviously this is me as the buyer, but let's pretend this is what your own buyer would see if they were signing remotely. And it's very, very easy. It asks you for a PIN. I think mine is my number, but I'm not sure. If it's, oh yeah, there we go. So it already has everything here for you. You click accept, right? And so I'm literally just going to press it along. So your buyer literally will just press the yellow buttons. It tells you exactly where you need to do it. And it just clicks them through, right? Like, let's just review it just so we can see what's happened. You'll see there's an initial there, It's signed for me here. It says Jessica Chung Chung, so we need to fix that, but we'll have to go through why that happened, right? So let's pretend that it didn't say Jessica Chung Chung. It's done. We complete the signing. It would say that I've done it, and it's going to send me, I think it sends me an email with a copy of it. So I think that's kind of, I've got 3 minutes, so if we have questions, I can always open up another chat so everybody can talk to me, or you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Thanks for coming. Hopefully that was helpful. And then Elaine, I'll reach out to you about the letters becoming very small, because after I saved it, I didn't get that problem. So if you look at it, the font size seems okay. It's legible. And then you can always change it on your doc hub, right? So Peter's name, Peter is quite big here, but if I wanted to, I could make it bigger, right? Like let's say I'm really hard of sight and I want it to be really big, right? And then you'll see that Authentisign has sent over the copy that I just made. So final revision. And then as the buyer, I can download and download it or save it for myself, or just leave it in my email, whatever I like. So I think that's about it. Yeah, we have 2 minutes left, so I can answer questions until we run out of time, but we could change the font and the size. Yeah, absolutely. So I can use them doc hub, I can change it. You can see there's only a few options, the rest of them are locked, so but this is good enough, right? If I want it to look more like my previous font, I could do Courier. Maybe put it back down to a normal size. It looks like it was bolded. There we go. It's like literally the same, right? It doesn't even look like it made a change. So this is an easier way, just in case, let's say the agent is asking you for a change before accepting your offer and you don't want to have to do all of the initials for all of the parties. Just an easier and cleaner way to clean up your offers before you submit. So we're less than a minute. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for taking the time to join. Hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, I'm always around. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. And end. Have a great day.